With the cold air blowing in out of the north, you might be daydreaming about getting away to a warm beach for some relaxation. Well, take a walk with me around Enoshima and get some ideas for your next trip. And if the cold weather doesn't bother you too much, then come on out. It's still a great time. I'm Sherman Hogue. Welcome to the Rising Sun. Enoshima has many unique shops to explore during your outing, so be sure to bring a backpack to free up your hands during your journey. Speaking of journey, recently Lieutenant General Francis Wazinski returned to the land of the rising sun to pay a visit to Camp Zama to see how things were going. Here's a story about his visit, along with other news that has been happening around U.S. Army Japan.
Lieutenant General Francis Wazinski, Commanding General of the U.S. Army Pacific, visited Camp Zama after Yamasakura 61, a bilateral exercise between the U.S. Army Japan and the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force at Camp Itami in Japan. Wazinski looked around several active construction sites at Camp Zama, including the JGSDF's Central Readiness Force headquarters and the Camp Zama Arts and Crafts Center, among others.
Having been involved in this for about 4 years now, 4.5 years, I've only seen it on paper for quite a long time. And to actually see dirt and holes in the ground and the construction that's already happened in just a very short few months, it's really amazing.
According to the new U.S. National Security Strategy, the Asia-Pacific region will play an increasingly important role in the future of global stability.
A few weeks ago, our Chief of Staff of the Army, General Odierno, made his first trip, and he chose to make it through the Pacific. And he stopped here at Camp Zama, here in Japan, and for him it was a first. And he was extremely impressed by everything that everybody does here at Camp Zama, U.S. Army Japan, and 1st Corps Forward. And he left here with a great impression. He left here energized with the new national security strategy. The President, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, clearly stating that the Pacific is the priority. And watching our Chief of Staff come out here and learn so much and be so energized by it, it really energizes me as the Commanding General of U.S. Army Pacific.
For U.S. Army Garrison Japan, this is Slade Walters reporting.
15 crew members from the 481st Transportation Company flew from Tacoma, Washington to Tokyo, Japan, and in less than 96 hours joined up with the U.S. Navy and the Tokyo Metropolitan Government to assist in a humanitarian disaster relief exercise.
Today we're just finishing up with a disaster relief drill. We've sailed into one of the Tokyo harbors, and at the pier we picked up 25 passengers that are commuters, stranded commuters, and we're taking them to Yokohama North Dock so that they can resume their trek home.
Civilians playing the part of stranded commuters were brought aboard and given safety briefings from the crew. While some relaxed in the comfort of heated shelters out of the chilly winds, others took the chance to tour the vessel during the 2-hour ride to Yokohama North Dock.
Their feedback's been great. They've really enjoyed the comfort that the ship is providing, the warmth and the care that the crew is providing them in getting them safely to their destination.
It allows us to see how we can best respond by combining our collective effort when we respond to any sort of humanitarian disaster or humanitarian type crisis that may exist.
Preparing and practicing for the possibilities of a disaster not only gives the crews the needed knowledge and skills, but also eases the minds of the people that live and work in the coastal areas. For U.S. Army Garrison Japan Public Affairs Office, this is Sherman Hogue reporting. Governor Yuji Kuroiwa from Kanagawa Prefecture recently paid his first visit to Camp Zama since taking office in April 2011. U.S. Army Japan and I Corps Forward Commander Major General Michael D. Harrison first expressed how much he enjoyed the professional and friendly relationship with nearby Sagamihara and Zama cities, as well as Camp Zama being in Kanagawa Prefecture. The governor also received a briefing on the important role of the U.S. Army in Japan.
やはり米軍の皆さんがですね、この神奈川の地で、非常にその神経を使ってね、この地域社会と非常にうまくやっていこうという、そういう姿勢を非常に大事にされているということを感じて、とても頼もしく思いましたし、嬉しく思いましたね。
The governor later toured the hangar and control tower of the 78th Aviation Battalion. He was briefed on the capabilities and functionality of the unit by Major Thomas Breed, the executive officer, and Colonel Eric Tilley, commander of the U.S. Army Garrison Japan.
日米関係が非常に大事であるということ、それそのためにこの日米安全保障体制しっかり守っていかなきゃいけないということ、そのためには米軍の皆さんともですね、しっかりといいコミュニケーションを取っていくということ、これ非常に大事だなと思っています。
Closing his visit, the governor expressed his appreciation for the work the U.S. military did following the Great East Japan Earthquake Recovery Effort. For U.S. Army Garrison Japan Public Affairs Office, this is Sherman Hogue reporting.
Hi, we are the Carolina Panthers cheerleaders, and you are watching the Rising Sun.
Enoshima is an island, about a 1-hour drive south from Camp Zama. It's been a famous tourist spot here in Japan for nearly 400 years, since the Edo period. This scenic island offers you rich historical and cultural sites, and the opportunity to relax, both spiritually and physically. As you walk around the island, you'll find many shrines along the way. Enoshima Jinja, or Enoshima Shrine, is a shrine complex that consists of 3 shrines: Nakatsunomiya, Okutsunomiya, and Hetsunomiya. Hetsunomiya is the main shrine at Enoshima Jinja. It was originally founded in 1206, during the Kamakura period. At Enoshima Jinja, you'll find the statue of Benzaiten, a very famous goddess, known as the Goddess of Talent. Benzaiten is greatly admired and respected by musicians, kabuki players, and people involved with music and the arts. After learning about Japanese goddesses and a little history, you'll arrive at the symbol of Enoshima, the observation lighthouse, which is also known as the Enoshima Sea Candle. It's located in Samuel Cocking Park, where you'll see a variety of structures, flowers, and natural monuments. The park was owned by Mr. Samuel Cocking, a British merchant, from 1842 to 1914. You can still see the remains of the greenhouse he built over 100 years ago in the garden. The height of the tower is about 60 meters. Once you get to the top, you'll experience a majestic view of Sagami Bay and the city of Fujisawa. The tower replaced the previous structure in 2003 as a part of the Enoden Railway Company's centennial celebration. In World War II, the original lighthouse was used by the Japanese military for their parachute jump practice in Futagotamagoa in Setagaya Ward, Tokyo. However, after World War II, the lighthouse was transferred to Enoshima for use as a lighthouse and remained there until December 2002. As we bid farewell to the Enoshima Sea Candle, you can stop at a number of gift shops to look for wonderful souvenirs for your family, friends, or maybe just something to help you remember Enoshima. If you have a sweet tooth, the Ganso Kinokuniya Manju shop will meet your needs with its homemade bean paste. Hopefully, you'll be able to enjoy this charming and historic little island during your journeys in Japan.
Inlaid in the roof of a prayer point at one of the 3 shrines here on Enoshima is a turtle whose head and eyes follow you as you go back and forth. Kind of like the score went back and forth during this year's Super Bowl. Daisuke Sato tracked this year's Camp Zama MWR Super Bowl party along with a visit from the Carolina Panthers cheerleaders.
Go Giants! Yeah, baby! Yeah! We're coming back, baby! Go Pats!
Well, we came here for the Super Bowl party. We wanted to entertain the soldiers and the families here, and so we were invited. And this has just been an amazing experience to be able to reach out to the families here that still want to have the same Super Bowl party that we have in the United States.
It's a great event. It's one of the things that we look forward to every year, and it's great to have these people come over from the States to support us. Even though we have soldiers overseas in war zones, here in Japan we're forward deployed as well, so we thank you for the support.
Oh, it's very awesome. I think it's really good that, you know, MWR put forth all that effort, and it really raises the morale.
Well, this year we were fortunate to have the Carolina Panther cheerleaders based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 7 of them came, actually 6 cheerleaders and a group leader. We were fortunate this year to be the only installation on mainland Japan to have cheerleaders.
So much fun. We had a blast. We met so many fans of just every team you could imagine. I mean, out there in the NFL. They were so supportive of us, and we danced our heart out.
I think for me, just the appreciation of the military. They were so appreciative that we were here today. And I think that we feel the same. We couldn't believe that they asked us to come and be a part of this. But everybody came up to us and thanked us for being here and said it made them feel like home.
One of the cheerleaders, her husband is a soldier stationed at Fort Bragg. And in November, he deployed to Afghanistan. So Camp Zama has a very well organized deployed spouse program. So we didn't tell her, but we had the USO in conjunction with our Army Community Service. They prepared a nice little gift for her.
It's so emotional me coming here, and they presented me, the USO presented me with a gift, and it just made me really sad. But I feel lucky to come, and I get to, be a part. I feel closer to him,
It was crazy. It was so fun because we got to, experience the culture here and eat some of the food that we're not used to, and it was really amazing. But the best part was we got to go to the shrine, and we got to see 2 weddings, which just the tradition of seeing that, and being able to see them in their clothing and the procession that they do, and we all got to make wishes, and we bought little trinkets to take home with us. So none of us have been to Japan before, and it has been a wonderful experience just to learn, about the Japanese culture.
It's been such a rewarding experience, just being able to see, the families, and they enjoy the game just like we do. They're no different, they're just away from home. So it's been good to kind of bring a sense of home here to them. And then we were able to be with the kids, and that is just, words can't be said how that makes us feel, because they are just wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, and just ready to learn and see an actual NFL cheerleader.
I think having the cheerleaders as part of our program, it really enhances the event. Sure, it's nice to have good food, nice prizes, but if you can have NFL cheerleaders, it just significantly elevates the quality of the event, and I think that was evident by the good turnout. People wanted to come and can see it and interact with an NFL cheerleader. So that was the main purpose.
Miyoto manju is a delicious snack that has been handcrafted on Enoshima since the Edo period, some 250 years ago. Mr. Hirokazu Yuasa is the 9th generation owner of the Gonzo Kinokuniya manju shop, where they still prepare the sweet bean paste in pairs that are brown and white, a symbol of the loving relationship between a husband and a wife. So when you need a break from your wanderings, stop in and give them a taste. Rising Sun will be right back.
I could build condos on beachfront property with all the sand sifted out of these bags.
And I could have created an ammo dump with all the UXO I found in these bags. Looky here.
What is it?
That's just a mortar. Somebody's taking it home for a souvenir. Let's see who this guy is. It's Private Puddinhead.
Oh, jeez, Frank, don't touch it! Call EOD!
Heading to a designated combat zone? Then you should know the perk tax-free income. The key is to use what you don't pay in federal taxes to strengthen your finances, and that includes your past, present, and future finances. Let me show you how to do just that. First step, repair the missteps of the past. If you're in the red, pay down debt, or better yet, eliminate debt altogether. If debt is under control, make your money work for you in the present by accessing another combat zone benefit, the Savings Deposit Program. SDP is a great way to make that money grow today. Earn 10% interest annually on amounts up to $10,000, a great government-guaranteed short-term return on your investment. Now here's how to make tax-free money work in your future. IRS rules now allow you to use tax-free combat pay for individual retirement account contributions. Deposit tax-free pay into a Roth IRA, follow the IRS rules, and taxes may never be owed on that money's earnings. Any questions? Visit irs.gov. And while extra cash is coming in, don't expand your budget to include new recurring monthly expenses. You won't have combat duty forever, so don't hurt your finances with new monthly bills that your normal taxed income won't cover. For Mission Your Money, I'm June Walbert.
There's a large cave system on the island, and legend has it that a dragon once lived in the cave and used to torment local villages, until one day, one of the gods, Benzatine, appeared, putting a stop to the dragon's destruction. As you tour through the caves, you'll see rediscovered statues that were possibly carved by monks centuries ago. It's like taking a walk through the history of Japan's culture, kind of like Miss Akiko Mura's Japanese class discovered during an outing to a local restaurant for some Japanese culture and cuisine.
1のクラスと文化のクラスを連れてきました。で、連れてくる前に、日本では魚料理はいろいろあると。みんなよく天ぷらとか寿司しか分かんないんですよね。で、他にもいろいろ調理法があるということで、そういうのも勉強してきたし、注文の仕方も勉強してきたし、日本でどんな魚が取れるかとかいうことも勉強してきて、でまあ楽しみながらそういうなんか魚のさばいてるところも見れるしっていうことで、まあいい勉強っていうか、経験になるかなということで連れてきました。
Very fun, and I like its food. It's very delicious. I like using the stuff that my teacher teaches us, and so I can use it in my life. Nice experience.
It was fun. It was different because you get to see all the fish, and you'd see them like come for your bait or whatever. I caught an eel and then a regular fish because we had to let the eel go. It lets me open up more to Japanese culture and see more of how they live. It was very fun. I had a really great time catching the fish, and it was really interesting. I caught madai snapper fish. It tastes really good. It's really yummy. It's good to use the Japanese to speak to the people here and ask them, we learned in class how to ask for certain types of cooking and how to ask for, water and things like that.
店内に見てるこの大きな生けす船を作りましてですね、お客様がその場で釣っていただいて釣ったお魚をその場でさばくというね、漁師体験ができるというそういったお店でございます。はい。近所の方がもちろん来ていただいてるんですけど、今日のようなね、海外離国の方も来ていただいて、なかなか普段生のお刺身っていうのもそうですけど、釣りなんかもされてないみたいで、私も経験したことないようなリアクションだったんで、非常に嬉しかったですね。喜んでいただいて、はい。
日本にいながら日本を知らない でそのままアメリカに帰るっていう生徒も多いんで、せっかく日本にいるんだから日本のあちこちを見てもらおうと。本当だったら魚も食べれてた方がいいんですけど、強制はできないですから、とりあえず魚はいろんな風に調理されるし、いろんな魚がいるし、いろんな魚が取れて、そういうことが分かってくれればいいですね。
Binzai is known as the goddess of talent, such as painting, acting, and other arts. One talent that people might find difficult is the talent of roller skating, especially when you're trying to fight your way to the front of the pack, like I discovered while hanging out with some of the women from the Zama Killer Katanas, a local roller derby team that competes with other teams from around Japan.
Well, what landed me into the coaching position was my wife got into derby. She started going to practices with some of the already established teams. So I went with her because I was fascinated and I wanted to support my wife.
I've been skating most of my 44 years of existence. I love being on wheels. I've played sports, and when I heard that there was roller derby going on across the country, I was all excited, but at the time I had kids and job and all that. So when I came here and found out that they had roller derby going on another base, husband bought me a package and off I went. So
This is my first time getting into it, so I'm pretty new to it. I would say the hardest thing of overcoming when here in derby is making yourself fall on purpose. It's kind of intimidating at first, but after about 15 times, you realize it doesn't really hurt. All these pads actually help you.
The most fun part about coaching is how they support each other, watching the women support each other. They help each other out, they support each other when they do good things, even when they do bad things. They're always supporting each other. They're like a little mini family.
Getting permission, what kind of organization do you need to set up? Is it a private org, nonprofit? And then working with the various individuals and departments that are responsible for giving you the green light to be able to do it.
A couple of things that we're trying to do to give back to the community are we'd like to have roller clinics where we teach the kids, the teens, how to skate, how to properly put the gear on. We also would like to raise some money, do some scholarships, help the teens out for college as well. If anybody wants to join, they can either look us up on Facebook, Zama Killer Katanas, send us a message on Facebook, or they can send us an email at zamakillerkatanas@gmail.com. Or if they see any of us walking around, just by all means come up to us, ask us how to do it, when's the next practice, and show up.
Cool.
Giving up in a difficult situation is not an option for some people, whether it be fishing or running the Tokyo Marathon.
There were over 35,000 runners in the Tokyo Marathon, and I was fortunate enough to be one of them.
Well, the great thing about the Tokyo Marathon is it's such an excellent course. It starts at Shinjuku, goes past Ichigaya, the Imperial Palace area, the Tokyo Tower. You turn back around, you go through Ginza. So you see quite a bit of Tokyo. It's really a great opportunity to run in one of the world's greatest cities.
You know, we were waiting for a long time, but everybody was in good spirits, taking pictures. You know, we had the Tokyo skyscrapers on the sides of us, so it was really, you know, an amazing sight. And turning the corner around the start point it was amazing. There was just thousands and thousands of people everywhere. You know, just the entire way, it was just nothing but cheering and happiness the whole way.
You'll be going and going. At some point, usually about the 3-hour mark or so, you're running longer than you've trained, and you really have to fight your way through to get through it and finish. So just having that level of support was very motivating, and it kept us going. And
I mean, it's a great day, and we came out to cheer a friend on, and we got to see him, so pretty happy about that. And it was good to see everyone out today and running, so.
I think this is a great opportunity to mix and build a relationship between Japan and the U.S. further. So I think it's a very good sign, a very good showing.
Also, a neat thing about the Tokyo Marathon is many of the runners had kind of funny costumes. They dress up. You'd see some people that had these huge hats that were designed like the Tokyo Tower and now the Tokyo Sky Tree.
The finishing medal that I got, everybody gets one of these for finishing within the 6.5 hour time limit, but it's especially memorable because it has the course on the background, it has the date. You know, it's a great memory for me to keep for the rest of my life, and you know, to show everyone.
The key for marathon training is to do a long run. Usually you can do that over the weekend. So you build up your long runs. And no, it was actually my 14th marathon overall, and the second Tokyo Marathon I was able to run last year's too. I've ran a number of marathons, but I have to say I think the Tokyo Marathon is the best overall marathon when you look at its organization, the fan support, and the course.
Tokyo Marathon 2012! Yay!
I hope you've enjoyed exploring Enoshima with us. Be sure to like us on Facebook so you can keep up with things happening in and around the garrison. Also for links to photos and videos. Be sure to pick up your next copy of the Rising Sun newspaper. For more in-depth stories and cultural coverage, we'll see you next time from the Army's home in the land of the rising sun.